the more people that opt in, the more powerful the network gets. So it starts as a flicker and it spreads like a flame, and then it's a fire. And then it's like, okay, I released this thing and it spread everywhere in the world. And and everybody shares this common economic protocol for settling their differences in a fair and an equitable, transparent, unstoppable, immutable fashion. That is the idea of Bitcoin.
MicroStrategy creator and executive chairman Michael Saylor is familiar with revolutionary technology and their huge prospects for early investors. He made his mark in investment, but many Bitcoin investors only know him for his strong views on the major cryptocurrency. Saylor was selected High-Tech Entrepreneur of the Year by KPMG Washington in 1996, Ernst Young in 1997, and Red Herring in 1998. The MicroStrategy executive chairman interviewed David Lin about AI. Despite supporting Bitcoin, Saylor sees AI as the biggest opportunity for entrepreneurs, comparing its exponential growth to mobile phones and the internet and highlighting the significance of coming early to capitalize on its wealth-generating potential. Builders and smart investors. In a recent interview with Graham Stephan and Jack Selby, Saylor reiterates the huge prospects artificial intelligence offers and how it will change our world in the next years. Saylor argues AI is the next big thing and investors have a tiny opportunity to get in early before everything changes.
If Bitcoin had not been invented, this would be a pretty downer podcast. I'm just telling you that, the world's got economic problems. The government's going to debase the currency, spend it on things you disagree with, and you're going to be poor. Right? And that's how it ends. But Satoshi is as profound as Prometheus. Satoshi, Maxwell gave us electricity. Newton gave us Newtonian physics. Einstein gave us relativity. Satoshi gave us money. Satoshi developed a protocol that combines cryptography, networking with semiconductor technology, with mathematics, with a bit of economics and some engineering, and managed to create something that's simultaneously a technology, a network, an asset, and an ideology. And it's this thing we call Bitcoin. It's the world's first engineered money and the first engineered monetary network. So let's just step back and say, well, what really is Bitcoin and what would you like to have? Well, if you had 1 billion people and they didn't trust the banks and they didn't trust each other and they didn't trust any company and they didn't trust any government, and they realized that their life savings was being drained out of their accounts via massive hyperinflation of the currency. And if they had no rights, and if they were being driven out of countries because they were the wrong sect or the wrong color or the wrong religion or the wrong political view, and they felt like they would like to have ownership of their own economic energy, their own life force. They like to have sovereignty. They like to have property rights that could not be taken away from them. Let's assume you're one of those people, right? And you could see why you'd be one of those people, because in 1492, when the Spaniards discovered the New World, I think March 31st of that year, King Ferdinand issued an edict saying all the Jews had to leave Spain, like 500,000 of them, within 120 days and leave all their property behind. Or else they're getting jailed, murdered. And so the King of Spain just seized all the property of 500,000 people in 4 months. And then a few years later, the King of Spain issued the same edict for all the Muslims in the south of Spain, but gave them 3 days. I could give you 10,000 stories like that. It's like you're the wrong religion, the wrong political party, and the person in power just says, we're taking all your stuff. You need to leave now. And if you don't now, you can't leave. We're just going to kill you and take your stuff. So let's assume you lived through that history, which every human being did. Now God comes down from heaven above, and God says, okay, I've decided to solve your problem. I'm going to run a bank in heaven. I'm going to issue 21 million God coins, and they're infinitely dividable. and I'm just going to go ahead and do this for you for just about nothing. And you can telepathically move the coins between each other to pay off your debts. And I'm going to make sure that no bank, no government, no counterparty, no country, no criminal takes your money away from you. And I promise never to inflate it. I'm just going to, so there's your money. There's your bank. It's a bank in heaven, right? And a person can hold a gun to your head, but you've got the money in your head, and the angels will, protect you. They might murder you, but they're not getting your money. So if I thought about that, I'm thinking, okay, God is going to run an honest bank for me. Okay, good. That's probably good. But in the absence of God offering to run the bank, and protect your property rights.
A lot of people who are against AI are worried about things like data privacy, algorithm bias, and how AI could be abused. For example, investigative journalist Whitney Webb has said many times that she thinks AI will be used to police everything we read, write, and do on the internet to punish and shun groups of people who don't agree with the majority. Some people are also worried that AI will take over all of our jobs and make us all useless. However, experts say that while some jobs will be lost, many new ones will open up as we learn how to live in this new world. Saylor is already familiar with the problems that come with AI. Earlier this year, he said that his team gets rid of about 80 fake videos about Bitcoin every day that were made by AI. In January, he shared a post on Twitter that warned people that there is no risk-free way to double their Bitcoin and that MicroStrategy doesn't give Bitcoin to people who scan a barcode. Every day, my team takes down about 80 fake YouTube videos made by AI, but hackers keep putting out more. Don't trust them. During the conversation with Stefan and Selby Saylor, Verify says that AI would definitely be more helpful than dangerous to humans because it will greatly lower the number of accidents and make people live longer. Here are some more video clips from the conversation.
Idea is we create a piece of software using cryptography, and then the software instantiates in the protocol 21 million coins subdividable by 100 million, so 2.1 quadrillion Satoshis. Effectively enough. You could subdivide it more if you needed to. We create that system, and now you can send 1,000, 100, 1,000,000, 1,000,000,000, 10 billion, $100 billion worth of that from anybody to anybody without asking anybody's permission using a computer. You can hold $1 million in your head, $1 billion in your head. You can hold it in your hand. If you know you're going to get arrested, you can just zap it to your sister in Singapore. If you don't trust the bank in New York, you can put it with the bank in London, right? And if you don't trust any bank, you self-custody. That's Bitcoin. And let's say you don't, so who's going to run the software? I don't trust you to run it. You don't trust me to run it. Let's say we all liked each other. Well, do you trust your great-grandchildren? Nobody trusts anybody. So how do you create an anti-fragile, fault-tolerant, self-correcting, self-healing system that will run forever? And the answer is everybody runs the software. So everybody can download the node. It's all open source. You can read the code. You run the software. It's a protocol. If you decide you want to tinker with the code and you change the code so there's 42 million Bitcoin instead of 21 million Bitcoin, we don't recognize you. You get kicked off the network. So this is a virus. It's a monetary virus. Everybody can opt into the monetary virus or the protocol. The more people that opt in, the more powerful the network gets. So it starts as a flicker and it spreads like a flame, and then it's a fire. And then it's like, okay, I released this thing and it spread everywhere in the world. And and everybody shares this common economic protocol for settling their differences in a fair and an equitable, transparent, unstoppable, immutable fashion. That is the idea of Bitcoin.
A few months ago, Saylor said at a conference that we are now in the middle of a gold rush decade for Bitcoin. During this time, institutional adoption will rise significantly, which will cause prices to rise at an exponential rate. The executive chairman of MicroStrategy also said that the rise of autonomous artificial intelligence will help this gold rush in return. Bitcoin will help keep the internet safe from bad people who want to use the AI revolution for their own gain. As a system of truth, Bitcoin is what you'll need to watermark timestamp cryptographically signed messages, documents, and material. During a panel discussion at the Bitcoin Atlantis conference in March, Saylor said, "Think AI will drive demand for Bitcoin," he went on to say. "If you want to make an AI version of yourself and have it live on the internet forever, you better give it some Bitcoin. If these predictions come true, the next few years will be very exciting for investors, especially those who take advantage of the crypto and AI revolution." Please share your thoughts, comments, and observations on the video in the section below. Also, make sure you like it, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications to get more videos like this. Thanks for watching.